Welcome to Salty Vixen's Pillow Talk. Thanks for tuning in tonight. This is my first episode, and what will I talk about? Well, it could be dating stories, romance stories, or lack of. Could be anything that comes to my Salty Vixen mind. And at the end of the show, well, I will add a little bedtime stories with Salty Vixen, a poem, or a short story. You see, my idea for Salty Vixen voice came from two people. The first one came from Michigan's Almond Pillow Talk, a voice that calmed all of us who listened to him from the 1970s up until the 1990s. Sadly, he passed away in 2015. The second one came from a British polo player I once knew when I was a non-playing member at a polo club in England back in 2004. His personality, mixed with a sexy relationship I once had, and then combined with Almond, well, that created my Salty Vixen voice. And the sexy relationship that I just mentioned, well, those sexing thoughts we had turned into words, to stories, and stories about nobody, stories to turn you on, the listener on, yes. Bedtime Stories with Salty Vixen, Monday through Friday, weekly spicy audio stories. And I will link my audio stories website in the description box below. And remember, my lovelies, it is all free. And now, here is my Salty Vixen thought of the day. We all have dating stories. What is yours? I would love to hear from you in the comments below. Well, the worst date I ever had happened a year ago. He was a lawyer, recently divorced, and his emotions were not ready to date. You know, come to think about it, the red flags were there. I really do think he wanted a hookup. Yes, that makes sense, doesn't it? Well, before I go into the date, I want to explain something to all of you people out there, all you lonely people, who is swiping left and right. Well, a lot of men, and I would say women too, but generally men, they know women are not going to do hookups. So what happens? Well, they will tell you, oh yes, I'm seeking a relationship, just to reel you in, hoping to get a date. And once you're on a date with them, lunch or dinner or whatnot, well, they expect to have what I call pump and dump. You see, the first time I ever saw this male habit was in polo back in 2004 when I was a non-playing member at a polo club in England. You see, that polo player who's the inspiration for, well, my Salty Vixen voice, when he said, "Lovely to meet you." Oh, lovely. Well, the first thing he ever said to me was, "Oh, Salty, are you up for it?" At a house party. Yes, well, are you up for it's British slang for, do you want to fuck? And of course, I don't do hookups, and this is 2004. I was in my 20s. And, you know the funny part is with that guy? Well, he was having a fuck buddy, or shag buddy as I call it, with a lady who became friends with me. And when he found out we were both friends, well, the gloves were off, and he treated me like crap at the Polo Bowl on 18 June 2004. In the future, maybe next podcast, I will talk about what happened that night. I will tell you this much. A famous person who was there, well, his friend, gave me the best kiss of my life. I mean, not just a regular French kiss. Oh no, it was 3 long, amazing kisses. I will never say his name, but he is famous, well, by association. Alright, my lovelies, I'll go back to the crazy dating story I wanted to share that happened a year ago. His profile photo he used from the 1980s, that's right. It was a classic mullet photo. Yes, the mullet. I'm sure you remember those days. I didn't understand why on earth he used a dated picture. Was he living life in the past? Well, it's something we all do. At least in our minds, but on dating apps? Oh, come on. Please keep the photo up to date, man. And furthermore, I'd like to know, why do women like to use filters on their dating app profiles? Look, filters are great to have. I do use one for my TikTok for the makeup because one, I don't wear makeup every day. I'm a single parent and I can't afford makeup right now and I don't really need it, right? But it's nice to have that filter just for my videos. However, on dating apps, nope, I'm all natural. In fact, women, don't cake on your makeup. Don't make it like a clown either. And the long nails, please. And I don't mean to be mean about that, but come on. The joke is, and I hate to say that for women who have long nails, I'm not trying to discriminate. But I'm curious, how do you wipe? That's a question everyone has. Yes, I know, the thought gets put into your mind, doesn't it, my lovelies? But I've always wondered. And then if you have long nails and you're giving a man, attention, worshipping his member, how do you not get the nails digging into it? Yes, I know, I do wonder these things because I never will have long nails. I know you're probably giggling away. But these are actual thoughts. Anyway, we chatted for a bit and finally met at a restaurant. He ordered me some wine. I declined. And he said that a date needs wine. I got a glass of wine and also some water. He ordered for the both of us. And when the food came, I had one bite. He then took his fork and ate all of my food. I am not making this up, my lovelies. Well, after that odd meal, he paid the bill. And as we left the door, he said to me, I took you on a date. It's time for oral dessert in my car. And if you think I'm making this up, well, I'm not. In fact, this is quite common. I told you earlier that men will say to the woman, oh yes, I don't believe in hookups. I want to meet, have a nice date, and see what happens, which, should be right. But generally, they're thinking sex, 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 or women. And men just want to have a nice date so they can pump and dump. That's right, use us women. Sad, isn't it? If a woman is up front and said, hey, I don't do hookups, and the man is wanting a hookup, then a man should not lie about a relationship because, one, that's a waste of a date for both of them. I'm just saying. But yes, I've seen it on Reddit, I've seen it on other platforms, social media, talking about how this is very common. So, anyway, I instantly declined, and we parted ways. Well, oh yes, you will laugh. Make sure you're not drinking anything, as you will spit it out in laughter. You see, I got a text from him that stated, oh, I enjoyed the date, but you see, I prayed and prayed and prayed, and because you did not give me oral sex after a date, well, we are not a good fit. And that is what the Lord said upstairs. But I had a lot of fun. Yes, he literally texted me that, of all things. And I kind of framed that photo, not literally, but I showed my friends. We all had a good laugh. Like I said, the man should have been upfront in the beginning before I wasted my time and his time on a date. Although the meal was nice and I appreciate it, but women, always make sure you have money with you. Do not expect the man to pay. Go Dutch. And I remember taking out my money, and he said, oh no, I'm paying for it. Dating apps, the good, the bad, and the ugly. And when I say ugly, I am not talking about looks. No, I'm talking about the ugly expectations on the dates. Like I said earlier, where men will say, because they know women will not do a hookup, oh yes, I'm looking for a relationship, when in reality, they just want a nice date, like I said earlier, to pump and dump. Yes, I say that a lot, because I want to get into your head that when a woman says, I don't do hookups, and if you are looking for a relationship and 100% being truthful, then get to know the person. Because dating is not easy for all of us. I have said many times, what is a relationship? How do you define one in 2024? Back in the 80s and 90s and way back to the beginning of time, dating was courting, getting to know your best friend, you flirt, and then you, fuck. I'm just saying. But people are too quick and just want to pump and dump very quickly and maybe have a one-night stand. And one-night stand that would lead to lots of shagging, the British term for sex. And yes, if that's what your prerogative is, that's fine. But for me, I want my best friend, my flirty friend that, eventually will open up my inner Salty Vixen thoughts and make my fantasies become a reality. And I will tell you this, I mentioned my sexting partner years ago, that relationship. He's the first person I actually did sexting with, which my friends laughed. But the truth was, I never did that. So I like to thank him for opening up my naughty mind and making a business out of it. Hey, it was fun at the time. This went on for, off and on for 2 years and 10 months. I have the receipts. That's all I'll say in that matter. I don't want to talk about it anymore because, well, he's someone that will always hold a special place in my heart, at least in the past, because the past is what made me confident. That's right. We learn from our past. It's like a book. You end that chapter, move on to the next one, new beginnings. Well, anyways, my friend asked me a good question. Why do we use dating apps if we have crazy dates? In truth, most of us are lonely. We are tired of jerking off. The solo hand has become a chore. And as we swipe left and swipe right every day, hoping to find Mr. or Mrs. Right. Yes, dating is not easy, and oftentimes it is lonely. We want that instant soulmate thing. It's that knowing. It's that oneness that we all seek. And that special someone is out there for all of us. The question is where? Where is that soulmate? Because I'm waiting for him. And trust me, when I find him, he will help make those fantasies become a reality once and for all. But he will be my best friend, like I said earlier. Not just my fuck buddy. I want the entire package. We're getting older. Being lonely sucks. I'll be honest. And that is why I have my daily, or I should say, nightly, erotic audio stories. Oh wait, I have to say it, spicy audio. Well, that's what you have to say in social media. I'm just saying. Titled Bedtime Stories with Salty Vixen. I write and narrate the stories 5 days a week. It helps me cope with being lonely. And I love to make my fans smile. Well, you know what I mean. I love to turn my fans on, to be exact. Well, before I sign off, here is a poem, a Salty Vixen original, for my fans titled The Rhythm of Love. Warning, there are some naughty words, yes, for 18 and older. Actually, I should say 21 and older. And here is the poem. I hope you enjoy it. All I can think of is you, licking my clit, kissing my breast, stroking my ass, and fingering my ass, pushing into me, thrusting harder, harder and harder, kissing me, our tongues playing, my mouth on your neck, you moaning my name, your lips on your shoulder, gently nuzzling your collarbone, and all the time, your heart inside me, yes, your beautiful cock, pumping into me, fucking me, worshipping me, making love to me, until I came and come, and you come and come, and I scream, and you moan, and we surrender to each other. Oh my goodness gracious, you are so incredible. You'll come to me, won't you? With me? To me? Oh, you want me, baby, don't you? You know I want you, and no one else, as there is no one else like me, not for you, and you're mine, all mine. Yes, my lovelies, the time has come to an end for this podcast, as I'm going to wrap it up for tonight. Time to turn off the lights and say good night, as you have been listening to Pillow Talk, and my name is Salty Vixen, and it's the witching hour. Until next podcast, have a naughty evening. Goodbye. I can't see.